There's obviously a lot of non-nutritional ways to make sure we're getting optimal eye health, but there's also a lot that we can do nutritionally to optimize eye health as well. It really relies a lot on antioxidants that we're getting from different vitamins and minerals. So from vitamin A, C, and E, I would say those are the three most important vitamins that we're going to get that are important for eye health, and also carotenoids like lutein and omega-3 fatty acids, which I know we speak a lot about how that's important for brain health, but they're also very important for eye health as well. That's very important to helping prevent cataracts, which is very common, especially as we age, and just generally dry eyes. So we really want to focus on leafy greens, fatty fish. That's where we're getting all our omega-3 fatty acids like salmon, mackerel, cod, colorful fruits, vegetables, nuts, eggs, and just generally following a Mediterranean diet. That's going to be very helpful in making sure that we're going to get optimal retinal health, because it's so focused on lean meats, vegetables, nuts, seeds, fatty acids, omega-3 fatty acids. We're just generally going to be able to get the most, I would say, bang for our buck in terms of making sure that we are following a healthy diet for optimal eye health and retinal health. I'm very much a fan of making sure that we are generally, loosely or not, following a Mediterranean diet, because that's going to be very helpful for eye health and just general cardiac health and just our nutritional health in general.
So I actually use lots of vegetables today, just because it's important that we do get our veggies in there. But also I did a chicken. I'm going to grill my zucchinis on the grill pan and my red peppers, and then I'm going to make a quick marinade. I'm not going to do the chicken live because it just takes too much time, but I am going to do a homemade hummus. I'm going to quickly put these in. This is my favorite grill pan, honestly. I had a long one, but this one gets nice and hot. And as you see, I have a zucchini. I put a little bit of salt on my zucchini just to draw the water out on them, and I'm just going to have them dry. And then I'm going to put them straight on here. I put a bit of avocado oil or olive oil, a cooking one, and then I'm going to put some red peppers, the char in any kind of vegetable. So while they're cooking, I'm going to make a quick marinade. This is a really simple marinade. This recipe is called a mezze style spread. It comes from Mediterranean, Lebanon, and Syria. So they do ask for cayenne, but I asked if it's okay to leave it out, and you can leave cayenne out. So I'm just going to use the paprika, the fresh lemon, the zest, and I actually marinated this yesterday, and it was the chicken last night because I put it on the finished dish, and it's absolutely delicious. So first of all, I'm going to put a little bit of zest in. I got a new zester, by the way. This zester is magic. Look how easy it is. It's amazing.
That's great. It's longer than some of them are too, so you can get more out of it. Yeah,
exactly. So then I'm going to use some fresh lemon, and we're going to just put a teaspoon of paprika in there and grate some garlic, and that will be your marinade. Make sure always you do your chicken at 165 internal temperature. We have to make sure it's fully cooked because you can get very sick. We're going to do a whole teaspoon of paprika. There. And then some salt.
You eyeball some of it.
It's
fine.
Because I already did it last night.
Yeah.
So.
It's all good.
And all I know is the flavor come out really good. So we've got 3 of them. And then I'm going to put a little bit of oil in there. And that is your marinade. And you're going to put that over your chicken at least 2 hours. If not 2 hours, it will be overnight. So as you see, I made some this morning. There's the grill lines on there. So that's done. So moving on to the garbanzo beans. So it's really important, this step. It's a little bit tedious. We peel them. There is a trick, and they say baking soda, but I didn't have any baking soda, so I had to do it the hard way. And I did 2 cans. It doesn't look a lot, but it really is. So we're going to put our garbanzo beans in the blender.
I've seen people say too, and this sounds too easy to be effective, but rubbing them between paper towels. I don't know. That sounds too easy.
If I did that, you should have told me that trick, because
I know, right?
Just like a killer.
I would have if I'd known, but I don't know. Give that one a shot. See if that helps.
And look what we have. We have tahini. So we're going to put a couple of teaspoons of tahini in there. And then we're going to put some garlic, I think 3, and then some zest and some more lemon. So I'm going to make some more zest over here. And then they say put a couple of ice cubes. I did. I actually put 2 ice cubes, but you have to let it blend for a really long time.
That's interesting. I've never heard that before.
Yeah, the longer it blends, the smoother it is. And honestly, I felt like it really worked well. And then the water from the garbanzos, because I boiled them first, water from the garbanzos I saved, and that makes it extra smooth.
Gotcha.
Let me just make half of this, use the one that's done.
Interesting fact too is that the water from chickpeas is something that vegan cooking uses that works almost like egg white.
I would say it's like a pasta water, like starchy, but
Yeah,
that's
it's very,
interesting.
yeah, but you can whip it up and it does it'll
Whoa.
yeah, people use it to make that's the word, aquafaba.
It's also
And,
a good alternative for kids foam to play with as a
wow.
sensory thing.
That's
just
really
heads up.
interesting. Hey.
Ice cubes, I'm just going to put in there. I'm going to show you how it comes out. But I'll just show you a little bit that I made earlier. As you can see, it's really smooth.
Oh, it's really smooth.
No,
Yeah,
it's really nice.
that looks beautiful, Sam.
See, you've got the nice char on the zucchini.
Beautiful. That's not burnt. That's just well cooked.
That's done.
Yeah.
I like it.
That's
like
good. Yeah,
Yeah.
me too. I was gonna say
Me
that's
too.
little weird shape, but there you go.
love it.
I'm going to turn them down while I show you the end result. So this is my end result. So instead of pita bread, I wanted to keep in like the healthy family. So I made some quinoa, some different colored
Gorgeous.
quinoa.
Okay.
Then we have our chopped up tomatoes and onions with our olives, pickled onions, lemons.
I see that grilled lemon, Sam.
Yeah, I love a grilled lemon.
That looks
That is
yeah.
that's such a good touch. I love that.
It is.
and
It's
the-
really pretty.
Thank you so much. And the water of the week is actually pears. I did pear. I haven't done
Good.
it before. So
That's a
yeah.
good one. Yeah, love that, Sam.
Thank you.
Outdone yourself.
thank you so
Did,
much.
as always.
Thank you.
So I am making a Spanish dish today. It's called Pisto Manchego. They call it like a Spanish ratatouille. I really love anything like ratatouille type of tomatoey vibe. I guess that palette. It's also very similar to shakshuka. I am putting a fried egg on top of mine, but what's different about a shakshuka is you're actually cooking the egg in the tomato mixture, and this you just cook it separately and put it on top. So it's also different about this than other things is that it really matters. There's a lot of layers of cooking here. So you really do want to make sure that you're letting things cook in the proper amount of time because you want almost a jammy consistency. So the first thing, I let this go a bit because it takes some time for the layers to build. So the first thing you're going to do is put in some olive oil, like 3 tablespoons of olive oil. Then you're going to put in a diced red pepper and a diced onion, and you're going to let that cook on the medium low for about 15 minutes. And then after that 15 minutes, once they get really soft, because that's what we want, we're going to put in 2 cloves of garlic. I actually left them whole just so that it gives it that flavor, but without getting burnt garlic.
You don't
just
get a bunch of garlic in
for a
there.
while,
Yeah.
exactly. And then I put in also zucchini, and then you're going to let that cook for another 7 minutes. So that's what I have here right now. I have my 2 layers. I have the 15 minutes cooking of the onions and the peppers, and then my zucchini and 2 cloves of garlic that are whole, but you're welcome to grate them also. And then this has now been cooking down really nicely, and they're getting really soft. My next thing we're going to do is you can do diced tomatoes, you can do crushed tomatoes, and you can use fresh tomatoes. Or obviously using fresh tomatoes in a real traditional recipe, but I'm going to use some diced tomatoes here. You can use 2 cans if you're making this bigger for more people, but I'm using 1 can here. And then you're going to stir that, and then you're going to put in your spices, which is not a lot. So I'm going to do a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper.
I love these kind of recipes where it's like you don't put a lot of spice in them and the
Yeah.
vegetables just taste
They
like
take
vegetables in a good
over,
way.
exactly.
Yeah.
And the layers of cooking here are really
Mhm.
important because
Yeah.
they're bringing out all of those flavors. That's why it's really important that we're not just throwing things in. We want to follow the recipe to make sure we're going to get the proper consistency. Then we're going to use some smoked paprika, about a tablespoon of it, and it's really going to elevate this really nicely. And actually, when I was first making this, I was like, yeah, it's very much similar to shakshuka. The smoked paprika really changes that profile. Then what we're going to do is we're going to bring it to a boil for a minute, just let all those flavors kind of come together. And then we're going to simmer it for 30 minutes. And we want to make sure that it's uncovered and not covered. I'm just going to put my timer on so I don't forget about it. So we're going to put this for 30 minutes and we put it on simmer. And the reason we want to put this uncovered and not covered is because we're really looking for that jammy consistency. And if we cover it, it's going to get more watery. And what we're doing by uncovering it is allowing the water to come out and to keep it like that jammy consistency. And so this is my final product. I put a little more pepper on the egg just because that's what I like. And I put a little bit of like drizzling oil or whatever you call it, some of that Graza drizzling oil because it says have some of that oil and you can eat this with bread. You can eat it by itself. The egg kind of soaks up all that flavor. It smells so good. Like they say, this is supposed to be like a ratatouille, like a shakshuka type of meal. It's super, super hearty. You can even add some lentils in here and make it even heartier. There are so many different ways that we can do that, but that's a very simple way. But if you look up more recipes, they add eggplant to it and different vegetables and different proteins. You can add some cheese and things like that. A super easy base